My name is Lawrence Daly. I am a forensic child sexual abuse investigator, interviewer, and educator. The following is going to be a diagram on the investigations and interviewing of an investigative child sexual abuse interview. There will be criteria that I want you to consider when you investigate or interview child sexual abuse allegations. The following is child sexual abuse and case analysis. Now, why is this important to an investigation? It's important to an investigation because it basically outlines how you will conduct the investigation when there's an allegation of child sexual abuse. Most investigators don't take the time necessary to prepare. I always believe in preparing before I take a case on. I suggest that law enforcement do the following. Law enforcement believes their investigative protocol and procedure is systematic in nature. Law enforcement believes their systematic investigation brings about positive resolutions. Most law enforcement agencies fail to have a systematic investigative style. Most law enforcement agencies fail to have an investigative system which enjoys alternative hypotheses. Most law enforcement agencies need to connect physical and biological evidence to the victim and perpetrator. In a systematic forensic methods, which is positive and obtains the truth about the alleged incident. Motives. There are numerous motives in a child sexual abuse allegation. Improper interviewing, patent place, which is basically a drama, confused touching, coerced to say it happened, parental alienation, mental problems, wanted perpetrator out of the home, adolescent's crush, and many more. These are just a sample of the alternative hypotheses which are available to law enforcement. The victim. Victims range from age 4 to 18 years of age. Generally, the gender of the victim is female. Rare, the perpetrator has multiple victims in the known allegation. Crime requires victim to stand alone at trial with none to minimal physical and biological evidence. Witnesses. There are generally never an eyewitness to a crime of child sexual abuse. However, there are corroborating witnesses, hearsay witnesses, and these witnesses are limited in the testimony of a child sexual abuse allegation. The witness could be anyone in the victim or perpetrator's life. Subjects involved, connections to the crime, witnesses, medical personnel, other victims, peers, relatives, friends, siblings, schoolmates, spectators, teachers, counselors, therapists, and many more. Records. How we can obtain records is very important in the investigation, such as institutions, schools, hospitals, child advocacy centers, police departments, child protective services, and many more places, such as the court. Evidence, physical and biological. Victim's clothing, victim's hair samples, victim's blood, victim bruises and injuries, including bite marks. Perpetrator's clothing, perpetrator's hair samples, perpetrator's blood, perpetrator's bruises and injuries. Photograph, the crime scene, the genitalia of the victim, victim bruises, bite marks, and other injuries, physical evidence and biological evidence, and most importantly, trace evidence. It may be necessary to photograph the genitalia of the perpetrator, the victim's clothing, or the perpetrator's clothing. Search warrants. There's a diversity of search warrants that can be applied to a child sexual abuse allegation, such as entering the crime scene, perpetrator's vehicle, perpetrator's clothing, perpetrator's blood and hair, a one-way telephone recording without the perpetrator knowing that the victim is talking to him or her while the phone call is being recorded, text messages, computers and accessories, perpetrator's mobile telephone. Thank you.